Bowel cancer is the second highest cancer killer in Australia at the moment. It costs an average of $120,000 to treat per patient. Costs the health system more than $1 billion to treat every year. And every year, around about 850 Queenslanders die of it. And yet, here's the crux. This is the irony. It's the easiest cancer to detect. And in fact, bowel cancer can be detected up to a decade before it actually gets to that lethal stage. And it's 90% curable if detected early. But strangely enough, only 40% of bowel cancers are detected early. This is something that Queensland Rotary has been at pains to try and turn around, these ridiculous figures, for a long time with their Bowelscan kits that they've been making and distributing and supervising the whole program. It'll only cost you $20 to find out if you have a potentially life-threatening condition and get it sorted before it becomes serious. Let's find out a little bit more. Mal Padgett is the social media, just about everything for Queensland Rotary Bowelscan, and he joins me now for a chat. Mal, good morning and welcome. Great to chat to you.
Good morning, and good morning to Woomba.
You say you have one of the hardest jobs in Queensland. Why do you say that? Tell me.
Well, I've got to talk to people who are otherwise think they're healthy and fit, the under 50s, and think that things like bowel cancer doesn't happen to them because they think it's an old person's disease. But part of my job is I interview people in their 30s and talk to them about their journey with bowel cancer. And the stories that you can hear on our Facebook page about bowel cancer in young people will make your toes curl.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because they just assume that 50 is the benchmark after which you have to really start worrying about this sort of stuff earlier than 50 and you're in the clear.
Yeah, well, you're never really in the clear. It doesn't discriminate, bowel cancer, and it's about 10% of cases are under 50, and particularly more so in the people in their 40s. But I was talking to one young man last night. He was 32 and he got bowel cancer, and he's aware of people, teenagers, who've got bags. They've got ileostomies or because they've had their bowel removed.
Wow, gee, and even
in Queensland,
it's amazing. And even if the odds are, in your favour, those stats are still not to be messed with. There's still a reason why you're urging people under 50 to get checked out. But you've got a bit of opposition there on a number of levels, I guess, as well, though, haven't you? Really?
Well, yeah. Well, we're not opposition. We don't want to talk about that. But it's but look, all we're trying to do is get people to be aware of it and just not to ignore it. We're asking people to look for the signs such as definitely like blood in their stools, even like they can get back pain, you can get bloating. It's just certainly significant weight loss, unexplained weight loss. They're good indicators. And for those things, you should go to a doctor, get yourself checked, or to discuss it. The other thing we want people to think of is for people to know of their family history, because there's a definite connection between family history of bowel cancer, or even things like irritable bowel and those sorts of diseases, and bowel cancer for younger people.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's not one of those things that, while families might get together and pass down stories, and you might know what your grandparents did for a living, or you might have heard some of these, funny stories that have been passed down. Their health record is the sort of stuff that you only really learn by chance, usually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing, when you're talking about Grandpa's war record, you don't say, and by the way, he had bowel cancer.
No, that's right. And yet, it'd be handy to know, because that obviously, it's handy information for you to be aware of that it's in your genes. So, yeah.
Well, tonight I'm talking to a young man who's in Brisbane, and I don't know whether he knew he had whether his father had polyps or not, but I convinced him and his brother to get test kits last year. It's $20 from us, and he ended up with 27 polyps, and 5 were cancerous, and he's 34. And his father had polyps, and he didn't really realise. And to make it worse, he had blood in his stool, in his in his poo for a couple of years. He went to the doctor in New Zealand, and they just dismissed it as hemorrhoids, which is a common thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
He's dodged the bullet. Believe me, for $20, he has dodged a big bullet because he's a party boy, goes out, he drinks and smokes, ex-army. He's the typical sort of person we're trying to get to, I guess, is like they think they're bulletproof.
And it's interesting too, because another thing, and I'm sure you hear this a lot, and it comes back to that old, I'm on the right side of 50, so I should be okay. A lot of men must say to you when you talk about what Rotary are doing with these $20 kits, why would I pay $20 when I turn 50, the government sends me a birthday present as one of these as a free gift? But you're saying, well, you're not out of the woods just because you're not 50.
Not only that, only 40% of the free kits get returned, which is a bit of an indictment. And I heard an ugly rumour about you. I want you to confirm or deny that you've had a kit sitting in your bathroom for a year.
I'd feel great if it had actually made it to the bathroom. It's actually still sitting on the side table where all mail that I don't want to look at goes.
So as a result of this discussion today, what are you going to do about it?
I will open up the envelope and go through the process and send it off. I think I have been inspired, definitely, because I'm just a few months up past the wrong side of 50, so I think I really should.
Yeah, well, you don't want to be 49 or something like that and get bowel cancer, because that would be a bit cruel. The whole thing is we just want people to be aware of it. We just want people to talk about it amongst their older family, and just be aware of the signs, so they can get a test kit with us till June 30 for $20 delivered. And just the way it works is you just drop it off at a Sullivan Nicolaides pathology collection office, and they do the testing for us for free, which is brilliant. So that's why we can keep the price down. And
so then they obviously just send the result through to your GP, and if there's anything concern, they'll contact you.
Yeah, we send an email as well to say whether it's positive or negative, or a letter. Anyway, it's a letter or an email we send out. But you definitely we encourage you to go to your doctor to discuss the results. And it doesn't always mean you've got bowel cancer. It could be something else, but it could be something minor. But the key is, if you can get polyps early, and polyps develop up to 10 years before they become lethal, and you can be 90% curable if it's found early, but only 40% of bowel cancers are detected early.
Wow. Okay.
Which is, and the thing is, it's so simple. If you get like pancreatic cancer or lung cancer, you don't know that you've got it until it's really bad. But with bowel cancer, I think it's one of the easiest to detect because you can get it early.
Yeah. So all these reasons feeding into why you absolutely should. Tell me, why are you personally so passionate about this cause, Mal?
Well, people in the Bowelscan committee, we've all been touched by bowel cancer somehow, but my brother died of it at 47, 19 years ago. So he was a country vet, and look, if there were bowel cancer test kits in his town, I'm sure he would have taken one, because he's that community-minded kind of a person. But he was, when they found it was stage 4, it had metastasized, so it was very aggressive, and so he just lasted one more year, and that was it.
It's Mal Padgett there. This project ends at the end of June, so if you're under 50 and you need to get hold of one of these kits, go through the process. Grab a sample. It's no worse than picking up after your dog, and drop it into the testing clinic. And if there is a concern, you will be contacted. It's a $20 kit, but it is the easiest cancer to detect up to a decade before it becomes serious, before it becomes a threat to your life. It's 90% curable if it's detected early, but only 40% of them are detected early. If you want to find out more and order a kit, just go onto the web, do a search for Bowelscan Queensland. Bowelscan Queensland. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Twitter. They're on YouTube, and those videos that Mal has been doing live each night are on YouTube as well, where he's talking to men well and truly under the age of 50 who probably thought that they weren't at risk, who ended up getting one of these kits, and it really literally did save their lives. There's some great stories up there. And Mal is taking part in a bit of an epic bike ride from Cairns to Brisbane via Toowoomba next year. So we will catch up with him again, spreading the word about the need to get tested, how easy it is, and what a lifesaver it can be. And spreading the word to get a group together. Don't just if you buy a kit, grab the rest of your footy team or the rest of your workplace and get everyone to buy a kit and just have that group mentality that will help people actually go through with the process and get screened and potentially save their own lives. It's 4 to 7.
On your radio, online and on the ABC Listen app. This is ABC Southern Queensland.